All right, so this is basic setup number 5. Today I'm going to be showing you how to put our employees on schedules. So pretty much we have the employees in the system. We've created the shifts. We've created rotations using those shifts. And if you took basic setup number 4, you've created your dashboards with your schedule views. Well, now it's time to actually put people onto those schedules. Now we can do it through 2 ways. The easiest way, and the way 90% of everyone, how they do it, is going to be using the assigning employees to existing rotation screen. We also have another option, building custom schedules, which is mostly used for people who aren't on a set pattern with their schedules. Maybe they just kind of work irregular shifts or hours kind of all over the place. We'll go over both ways on how to do that. But the bulk of the work is going to be done through the Add Employees to Existing Rotation screen. That can be found if we click on Build Schedule, and it's the first screen available on the left, Add Employees to Existing Rotations. And what we're looking at right now is, I like to break it down into 3 sections. So we have this top section, this bottom left section, and then this bottom right section. The top section is our settings that we're going to use when we actually put people onto the rotations. The first thing we need to do is determine the date range in which we're putting someone onto this rotation. So you might have built your rotations out for years and years and years, but people can change their schedules, whether it's annually or, every 6 months or so, however, you guys do it. So this is where you're going to tell the system, I'm going to put these people on their schedule for the current calendar year. And this is going to be a screen that you're going to revisit at least once a year when people change their rotations and whatnot. And then we do have some options down here with checkboxes. The 2 that are defaulted to be checked are going to be the ones that we recommend, these are the only ones that you want to leave checked. But just walking you through what they mean, the first one, delete schedule entries, what that's referring to is pretty much it's going to overwrite any schedule information for any employees we select between this date range. Now, this does not include time off or overtime. This is just if someone was on a rotation and we had to move them. Well, obviously, we want to, say I'm on rotation A from January to December, and come July, I get moved to rotation B. Well, when you put me on rotation B, we want to make sure that we overwrite and get rid of that previous schedule that no longer applies. That's what delete schedule entries will do, and it will only do that for this date range. So if it falls outside of this date range, it will remain the same. Delete days off, we can use that if we want to delete any days off people have put in case they no longer apply. However, if you leave that unchecked, what the system will do is if I get moved onto a rotation, if I get moved to a different rotation and I have a day off, say I used to work shift A, but now on my new rotation I work shift B, the system will automatically change that time off entry to reflect that new shift. So we can leave that unchecked. And this last box that we have to look at, update employee profile, all that's doing is it's just kind of putting this rotation, whatever we add to someone's name, it's going to also put that in their employee profile just for kind of like visual reference. In case you ever need to know what rotation someone's on, you can look it up in their employee profile. This checkbox will just make sure that whenever we make a change, that change gets updated in the employee profile. So now this bottom left section, this is where our employees will show up. So if I click Select Employees, typically, you can do it for a person at a time. You can do it for everyone. However, I would not recommend that because it could be a little slow. So what I usually recommend is do it by group. So I click Group. I'm going to do, actually, let me do Squad A, Select and Close. So now I'm doing it for 5 people at once. Now you'll notice I get 5 rows. Each row belongs to an employee. Now, if this is your first time doing this, you won't see a rotation code or a rotation description. This is showing up here because my employees already belong to this rotation. If your employees haven't been put on a rotation before, then this will just be blank. As far as what these columns mean, this first column details, this is if we had to assign anyone to a scheduled detail for every day they're working. So maybe they get assigned to the same car for every day they're working. Well, we could just click select and select the car that they belong to, or they have every day they're working. If they're assigned to a particular job assignment for every day that they're working, we can do that here as well. And then we could also put in a start time and end time. And this is used for rotations that only have one shift. For instance, if you have like an admin rotation and it's just a 5 on, 2 off for your admin shift, maybe it's a 9 to 5 shift, but you have an early person that works 8 to 4. Well, if those, we could put in that 8 to 4 in here, and the system will say, okay, well, they're going to work that shift, but at a different set of hours. If your employees just work whatever the shift default start and end times are, you can leave that blank. This is only for people who work irregular hours on a shift, and that's it. Rotation code and rotation description are reflecting the rotation that we put them on. This is just pulling, code 1 and the code 2. And on the right is a list of all our rotations that we have built in the system. And you'll notice when I click on one, it's showing me the start and end date of that rotation as well as the pattern. So if I click on here, see the start and end date and the pattern for this rotation. So you can really confirm that the rotation we're going to use is the right one. So just, as an example, I'm going to set this up for the calendar year. So this is saying from January 1st to December 31st of this year, whatever I put people on, that's going to be their schedule for this date range. To add a rotation to someone's name, you can either highlight rotation code or rotation description. As long as one of these cells are blue, we click the rotation that they're going to be on, and then we click the green arrow, and you'll notice it all gets moved over. You can also drag and drop, but you can only do it one person at a time. So once you're done with that, if they have a different start and end time, we can, put that in here like so. So if Bill's always going to be an OIC, and you do this, you click apply, and then you might want to give it a few minutes because it is processing a lot of information at this time, so it could take a few minutes. Just be patient with the system. Once it's done, it will say save and build finished. You just click OK, and then you need to move on to the next group of people. So to do that, you can leave all this the same. Just click on select employees, click none, so it wipes out this list right here, and then just go on to your next group. If you don't click none, what's going to happen is if I have these 5 people already listed, and I go here and I select 5 more people, what happens is they just get tacked on. We don't want that. We want to clear it off because we don't want to overwrite anything. So by clicking none, we're kind of clearing out the field to ensure that we don't change anything we just put in. And then you're just going to go through the process again. So like here, it's blank. She's on that rotation. I click apply, and then they get added. So any questions so far regarding adding an employee to an existing rotation? And in many cases, this might be all you need to do if you don't have anyone working kind of like in a regular, work schedule. All right, well, if there's no questions, we'll move on to the last part of this training. Like I said, it's a very short class. You might not be using this, but it won't hurt to show you. Build custom schedules. So a custom schedule is for employees that don't really have a defined pattern in their schedule, and the employees maybe they need certain aspects of their schedule customized beyond a regular rotation. In the Build Custom Schedule screen, you can just drag and drop shifts onto dates of an employee's schedule. So once again, in Build Schedule, we're going to go to Build Custom Schedule. Now if I blow this up a little bit, we can see it better. So right now we're just looking at a calendar view. So here, we need to set our apply date. So if you're doing it just for the month, these dates are saying whatever we do in here is going to get applied for this date range. So if I had to do it for the whole year, it would be January 1st through December 31st. And then I select the employee who I'm building the custom schedule for. I would recommend only doing this for one person at a time unless you have multiple people working the exact same custom schedule. Check his name. And then I can just drag and drop shifts onto each day that they're working. Like I said, this is only for people who don't have a regular, assigned rotation. Maybe it's kind of all over the place and you can't really, there's no pattern to it. Well, you can use this screen. And once we're done, we can just click Apply. And this is saying, so notice I only filled out for January, so this guy's schedule is going to be blank for the rest of the year. Because I only filled out January. So if you do put in your apply dates for the year, make sure you actually do it for the year. Because if I'm saying this is their schedule from January 1st to December 31st, and it's done in February, well, from February to December, this person won't have a schedule. But with this, you're just dragging and dropping. Once you're done, you click Apply. And once again, give it a few minutes to save. Just be patient. If you do click on anything by accident, you might see the screen say not responding. Just ignore that. It is still running. It's just, it just doesn't want you to click while it's doing all this work. So that's Build Custom Schedules. Pretty simple. Do you have any questions regarding custom schedules? Well, if you don't have any questions, you can go ahead and begin to add your employees to their rotations, whether it's through, add employee to existing rotation or through Build Custom Schedules. It's up to you. Not a lot of people use Build Custom Schedules because, for the most part, everyone's schedules are kind of regulated. No, I can't hear you. I can see your chat, though. Do you have any questions regarding anything that I'm going over? If you do, go ahead and call in, and we can, get those issues addressed. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes,
Were you able to hear me that whole time or no?
I could hear you, but I couldn't talk.
Oh, okay. Okay, I want just looking at a screen with no, no description. So as far as what I showed you, do you have any questions regarding, putting people onto a rotation?
No, because actually now I'm echoing. I probably need to get out of, because I'm echoing, what should I try to, do I need to somehow log out of it from the computer?
Wait, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I was echoing.
Okay, so what I'm wanting to do, and I don't think that I'm maybe in the right training. So our fire department has already set up their schedules and everything. What I want to be able to do is to enter the payroll information, like their leave time, leave banks, that type of thing. But it was my understanding that I had to go through all of these trainings, or did I misunderstand that?
Oh, I mean, if you're already set up, you don't need to do this training. Yeah, putting in their time and stuff like that, if you're putting in rules and stuff like that, that's in the advanced setup and training. This class was just to get people on a schedule. So yeah, also too, what you can do is sign up for a help out session. We offer those throughout the week, and what that is, it's pretty much a one-on-one session, kind of like what we're doing now. Usually we have more people in the class, but a help out session is just a one-on-one 45-minute long session where we work directly on your system to help you out with anything you might need. Whether you forgot how to do something, or you're trying to put something in and it's just not working, that's what a help out's good for. So what I would recommend for you is to sign up for one of our help out sessions that we offer. That's fine. Did you hear what I was saying about the help out sessions? Yeah, if you just have a specific kind of like inquiry, you don't have to sign up for a class. Just sign up for a help out session. If your system's already set up, you don't need these classes. All right, so I'll go ahead and end the meeting, and just go to the same page that you went to sign up for this class, except look for a help out, whatever date and time that we offer that works best for you. Sign up for it, and we can get anything that you need hashed out. We can get that done during the help out session. It'll either be myself or another associate from VCS helping you out with that. But yeah, the help outs are always there in case you need anything. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and close the meeting. I hope you have a good day. Oh, not a problem. Not a problem at all. Have a good one.